So mirrors, they're in our lives every day. We use them all the time. But how much do we understand them? Well, that's the subject of the mirror inquiry that I've developed. And I've been using it with teachers and with students for years. But my newest challenge was moving it over to Prezi. If you're not familiar with the inquiry itself, you can find it on the Minds of Our Own link here in the blog post. And you can see what the whole problem is that the inquiry poses. And then the Prezi is something that you can use with your students or with a group of teachers you're working with to actually take them through the inquiry. I've had fun moving an inquiry over from one that I've been using for a while, moving it over to Prezi. Found that it was fast. It took me only about an hour to move it over. It used to be in Word, and the blog post here will give you a link to an image of what that thing used to look like. I would print it off and carry the hard copy with me into the classroom. Now I'll be using the Prezi, and I'm excited about that because of the visual appeal of Prezi, and then also of my ability, rather than to state the key questions, to actually show teachers the key questions. So I'm pleased with what's come up with, and I look forward to any feedback that you have as you look at it. Another thing that I tried to do here was I've been thinking about how all the talk about flipped videos has had me thinking about how I might use flipped videos as part of the explain or the evaluation of the explanation portion of the inquiry. That's the portion where in the past I would do a brief need-to-know mini lecture, might do what would be chalk and talk or a diagram on the whiteboard. But what I've been wondering is how I could use a video that's already out on the web. Well, you'll find in the Prezi some of those videos that I found. It honestly took me only about 5 minutes to find probably 7 or 8 great videos. I'll give you a link also into all of the videos that I found. I've got them web tagged for you. But then they were so easy to find, and now I'm exploring how I can use them with teachers and with students and with learners as they're going through it. I've already used it once, and I was real pleased with how quickly it got the key information across to students to learners as they were going through. It was kind of like a whole new paradigm because the information was so at the students' fingertips, they could quickly see it as learners. And then also, since they can web link to it anytime they want to, they can go back and look at those videos if they like to. And now, of course, with the Prezi, they can go back to the whole Prezi anytime that they want to, click the links, look back through what they did, be reminded of what they did, and also click on any of the videos that they want to see. I also had one big aha moment that I hadn't tried yet, but I'm going to next week when I use this again. Is I could, if I had my iPad with me and wireless access, as I'm moving around working with the groups as they're exploring the evidence, what I realized was right there on the iPad, if they were struggling, I could use one of those videos, just touch it up, show it to them, and give that little burst of instruction right there on a need-to-know basis to the small groups. So I'm real excited about how that's a whole new paradigm of using technology right there with small groups as I move around the classroom. Those are my main insights. I'm really excited about what this is going to be like teaching inquiry from Prezis. I think it's going to be really good for my learners. You'll also notice on the Prezi that there's a teacher's corner and a facilitator's corner. The facilitator's corner will be my notes of as I'm getting ready to actually teach the lesson. The teacher's corner is for you as a teacher, where I'll be adding in notes and thoughts about how you can use the inquiry that I've developed here for you. You can use those in your own teaching. Hope it works well. Make sure to give me a comment back on the blog post that accompanies this on my Never Give In blog with any thoughts or comments or even suggestions you have.